Not a whole lot of quarterbacks to add off the waiver wire, but we got running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defense, and kickers to add to stream for fantasy football week 12. Let's go. What's going on, Couch fam? Welcome to the week 12 waiver wire video. We post a new waiver wire video every Tuesday afternoon. Let's get right into the waivers for week 12. There are no teams on bye this week. Couple teams on bye next week, week 13. And then we have another final bye-mageddon, week 14, 6 teams on bye, so keep that in mind. One tiny strategy would be to trade a guy like Aaron Jones. Last week, I did that in the Vampire League. I got rid of Aaron Jones because he has a bye coming up, and I got Joe Mixon, who already had his bye and could have been a sell-high option for you guys after Aaron Jones had that one big game. I believe that was week 10. All right, quarterbacks to add. Likely there's not going to be a QB that's going to help your team, just being realistic in your leagues, but I did want to give you guys a list just in case. These top 4 names are pretty good. Derek Carr at number 4, decent matchup. He should be a decent start. Puts up 17 fantasy points, 20 fantasy points. That's not too bad. Jimmy G right around that same level. Jimmy G is a little bit safer. Derek Carr maybe has a slightly higher floor. Maybe some more pass attempts in the fourth quarter because the Raiders defense is not good. Niners defense is good. Number 2, Trevor Lawrence. Not really that big of a difference between him and number 3 and number 4, I suppose. And Deshaun Watson, he's already stashed in all competitive leagues, but he is returning next week, week 13. Also got a few more guys in deep leagues. Taylor Heineke's the starting quarterback. Marcus Mariota, not a great matchup this week, and I think he's one of those teams that has a bye week 14, so keep that in mind. And let's see what the Jets do. Do they start Joe Flacco? Do they bench Zach Wilson? I'm very excited and interested to know what the heck the Jets offense is going to do. Running backs to add, lots of options. We should be very grateful that there are some good RBs and wide receivers to add this week, especially RBs. To find one this late is very rare. At number 1, we have Latavius Murray, and I just want to start off by saying not a huge difference between these top 8 options, kind of. Just being honest, some guys are upside guys, some guys are low upside guys, like Cam Akers, low upside guy. But as of right now, Latavius Murray is a must add. He's already rostered in half the leagues or most of the leagues, but there is no Mike Boone, there is no Javonte Williams due to injury, and now there is no Melvin Gordon, so Latavius Murray is the sole running back there. Also, Chase Edmonds is injured. He's basically out for the rest of the year. Broncos season's pretty much over now that they lost to the Raiders. The reason why I'm not too excited about Latavius Murray, he's going to do well. It's just that they'll probably sign another running back, maybe Darrell Henderson. The Rams just released him. Anyway, moving on to the next one. I do predict a 50-50 split between Rachaad White and Leonard Fournette moving forward. A lot of people are hyped about Rachaad White's season. Look, that would benefit me a lot. I only have Fournette on one team, and that's the one team that I'm doing the absolute worst in. So I would like that to be true. I just want to temper expectations and be conservative. Fournette does have an injury. Doesn't seem to be major. Just keep tabs on that. Joe Mixon might miss one game due to the concussion. Regardless, Samaje Perine's a great add. And look, I follow my own advice, guys. So I do have Samaje Perine like in 3 of my fantasy football leagues. So he's always been a really good handcuff and a good add. I actually did start him in one league technically. It's a best ball league. So that was great. He's like the best running back last week. So that was amazing that I do have him in a best ball league. At number 4, we have Gus Edwards. Good matchup. I do expect him to be back. And when he is back, he typically is the workhorse. two knocks on Gus Edwards. Number one, he's coming back from an injury. Number two, J.K. Dobbins could be close to returning. Don't have a lot of info on Dobbins' injury, but he could be coming back soon. At number 5, ladies and gentlemen, we have our sleeper ad of the week, Jerick McKinnon. And there's one reason why he is a sleeper, and that's because he's not really getting the fantasy points, but he is getting everything else. All the check marks are checked off pretty much, except the fantasy points. So he's getting the snaps. Okay, that's number one check mark. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is injured, and he was pretty much irrelevant the last week or two anyway. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out of the picture, and this guy is getting all the targets as far as target share goes for Chiefs running backs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, as we said, irrelevant and now injured. Pacheco's not really getting any targets, so all the targets are going to Jerick McKinnon. Only got one target this last week, but look at the 2 weeks before that. 8 targets week 9, 8 targets week 10. I love Jerick McKinnon, and that's why he's going to be a sleeper. Some leagues, a lot of noob leagues, a lot of leagues where there's not a lot of experience and competition, just look at the fantasy points. But I'm urging you guys to look at the snap count. Also, another check mark I forgot to check. Chiefs offense. It's like the best offense in the league, and we like starting fantasy players on potent, good offenses like the Chiefs offense. One con about Jerick McKinnon, though, is that Chiefs running backs don't score a lot of points. It's all Travis Kelce and whoever else Mahomes likes to throw to in the red zone. Sometimes he takes the ball himself and rushes it in. So it's basically a lot of Travis Kelce, a good amount of Juju when he's healthy. So the running backs haven't scored a lot, but still McKinnon is worth an ad, and you probably don't have to bid too much or spend a high waiver priority claim on him. Not a super sleeper, but yet again, he is somewhat of a sleeper if you're playing against inexperienced fantasy managers. At number 6, we have James Cook. Not an incredible long-term ad, but he has a great matchup against the Lions. He should get 8, 9, 10 plus touches this week. But a absolute must-add is number 7, Kyren Williams. Now that the Rams released Darrell Henderson, all of a sudden, big shocker. By the way, this team is 3-7. They're basically eliminated from the playoffs, with Stafford being injured and having a down, terrible year, and Cooper Kupp injured. The season's over for the Rams. I don't think they're mathematically eliminated or anything, but they might as well should be. They're pretty much eliminated. They're done. They're last in their division. They just suffered 2 losses against the Cardinals and then just recently against the Saints. So it's over for them. So they're playing for the future, or I don't know, whatever words you want to use, tanking, playing for, I don't even know what they're doing, but they know they're not winning it this year. Kyren Williams is a good pass catcher. He's not a workhorse or anything like that, but he's going to get a lot more snaps. He's going to get a lot of targets, and he is a must-add in PPR. You don't want to necessarily start this guy, although it's a cool sleeper start this week. They will throw the ball. They're going against the Chiefs, so they're going to need to throw the ball. I do see guys like their tight end Higbee getting a lot of targets, and Kyren Williams will probably get a lot of targets this week. So I guess not too bad of a start. Risky, but not too bad. And then number 8, we have Cam Akers. He's going to get a lot more run, but he is a low upside running back. Now, we were just talking about the Chiefs offense with Jerick McKinnon, and the Rams are kind of the opposite. They're like the 3rd worst offense in the league when it comes to scoring points. Not a lot of touchdowns for the Rams. Touchdowns are always king in fantasy football. We like touchdowns. The Rams don't get them. At number 9, we have another great handcuff, Matt Breida. Number 10, Deion Jackson. A sneaky handcuff, guys. Deion Jackson. Definitely want to handcuff him with JT if you have the roster space. But Deion Jackson, very, very sneaky handcuff that may go overlooked. If anything were to happen to JT, there's not a lot of running backs in that Indy backfield. Hines is in Buffalo. And Phillip Lindsay off the team. So it's going to be a lot of Deion Jackson, and he's got it done in the past. He's also getting a decent amount of targets and spelling JT. At number 11, this has kind of been an emotional drop. Melvin Gordon has been dropped. I saw in one of my leagues, so people might be dropping him and forgetting him. He's still a somewhat decent running back. Look, the Broncos actually, they scored... I think they're the dead last in scoring points. The Broncos offense scores the fewest points in the league. So just imagine if Melvin Gordon signs to a team that does score touchdowns, because the Broncos don't score any touchdowns. He'll automatically be better. He's going to have probably a better quarterback, probably a better head coach, and certainly a better offense, because like I said, they're dead last in scoring points. They're really not good. They just don't score touch. When's the last time you saw the Broncos offense score a touchdown? It's so rare, so seldom. They don't score a lot of them. So if he was dropped, he's might as well worth an ad, I guess. I'm just making that. I just want to kind of make that point. Like, he's gonna probably get signed, and people are dropping him like his career is over. It's not looking great, but probably still want to roster him at least for a week. Now, he did clear waivers, so he is a free agent. We'll see. Maybe no team picks him up because they think he has an attitude. We don't know. Number 13 in super deep leagues, Keontae Ingram. That was number 12, Keontae Ingram. Number 13, Dontre Hilliard. Number 14, Marlon Mack by default. I think right now he would be the number 2 running back on the Broncos. Enough talk about RBs. Let's go to wide receivers. Lots of names, and let's kind of make a tier distinction here. I think I really like the top 6 right here. So that's going to be Treylon Burks, Darius Slayton, Jarvis Landry, Zay Jones, Josh Palmer, and Mac Hollins. Number 8, a lot of people would argue for Demarcus Robinson being good, but the Ravens are a kind of team where you think something's going on for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then it changes. It's just the type of thing going on, right? Wasn't like 1 week Rashad Bateman was really good. Then the rest, we saw that Bateman was a bust. We saw Duvernay was a must add, and some people were starting him. Now Duvernay is kind of like a drop or a must bench. And now it's Demarcus Robinson. People thought Kenyon Drake was bad, then he was good, and now he's bad. And Gus Edwards was the workhorse, and I can just go on and on. This team is tough to predict. And that's why, because Demarcus Robinson was good like 2 out of 3 games, I'm not going to anoint him as a guy that's going to actually help me win my team. A great stash, a hopeful fantasy relevant player, but realistically, I don't trust this team. Other than Lamar and Mark Andrews, I'm not putting a whole lot of trust in it. Even Gus Edwards, I love him. Especially non-PPR, he goes off, and then what's going to happen? A week later, J.K. Dobbins might come back. Who knows what's going to happen? That's why I don't have Demarcus Robinson ranked too high. There's really not a whole lot of analysis with these guys. I did rank them the best to my ability. And remember, I do read every single YouTube comment, so drop a comment. If I missed the name, let me know, let the world know. It helps me out and helps out the Couch Fam community. And if you have any fantasy questions, drop a comment. I'll get to them. I'll try my best. I get to like 99% of comments. That's how so much I appreciate you guys and try to answer every single comment. Number 12, Sky Moore. He's all of a sudden relevant. Van Jefferson, Terrace Marshall. Odell Beckham Jr. is probably going to sign with the team within a week or two. Maybe the Giants, maybe the Cowboys. Number 1 options, probably the Cowboys. What's Vegas saying? Number 3 might be the Niners. Who knows? But keep tabs on that. Don't expect him to be relevant at all in November. This is a stash for the fantasy playoffs, right? Your semifinals, week 16, your championship game, week 17. That's what you're doing with Odell Beckham. Nothing more than that. Julio Jones, Alec Pierce, Randall Cobb, DeAndre Carter. Greg Dortch is getting an MRI on his thumb. And number 21, Richie James Jr. At tight end, there's a lot of names, but honestly, not a lot of quality here. It's more so quantity. Unfortunately, if you don't have Kelsey, if you don't have Mark Andrews, if you don't have one of these top guys, you're kind of screwed at the tight end position. There's really not a whole lot of names, unfortunately, but I'm doing my absolute best to help you out. Hopefully you can get one of these top 7 guys here. Evan Ingram, Jawan Johnson, Foster Moreau, now that Waller is out. Tyler Conklin actually is a really big sleeper. He gets a boost if Joe Flacco plays, so keep that in mind. Tyler Conklin still could be very fantasy relevant. Noah Fant, Taysom Hill, high upside, low floor tight end, we'll call him. Logan Thomas, Trey McBride, Austin Hooper, Mike Gesicki, Isaiah Likely. I also had Jonnu Smith, number 12, but I left him out because it's like how desperate. I don't know how deep of a league you got to be in to add Jonnu Smith and contemplate starting him. It would have to be deeper than a 16-team league. We're talking like 20-team, 32-team league territory there. At defenses, we have a lot of options. The top 3 are kind of elite, and I trust. The Chiefs going against the Rams, Dolphins going against the Texans, and Broncos going against the Panthers. This game is supposed to be so low scoring. Broncos, Panthers. Sam Darnold is starting. The ghost quarterback, the mono quarterback. And the Broncos don't score any points. So we're looking at 2 teams that do not score any touchdowns. And the Broncos defense is okay. It's not bad. Like, I think it's pretty good. It's just the whole team is kind of a mess, unfortunately. But Panthers are a pretty big mess too. So I trust these 3 defenses. With the Jets, I like the Jets D a lot. I still think they'll do fine against Justin Fields. I guess there's a tiny chance that Justin Fields doesn't play, and if that happens, it's realistic. If Justin Fields doesn't play, give the Jets a big boost because their backup quarterback, like I don't know who it is, but I'm pretty sure he sucks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a huge downgrade from Justin Fields. It used to be guys like Nick Foles and Dalton. I don't think they're on the team. So I did look at this. Don't make fun of me. Don't call me an idiot, please. I did look at this. I'm just bad with names. I'm pretty sure when I looked at it that their backup quarterback situation is horrible. So give the Jets D a huge boost if Justin Fields is out. Number 5, we got the Steelers D. They probably won't win the game, but they'll probably get fantasy points. With TJ Watt in the lineup, Steelers D can always get a lot of fantasy points. That guy is a game changer. Just an elite, amazing player. If you can't get any of those top 5, hopefully you get one of those top 5s. If you can't, and you're in a deep league, I do have more options for you. The Colts in that low-scoring game against the Steelers. Bucks D could be windy, and Deshaun Watson's not back yet. I was looking at Bucks games. They're often low-scoring, and a lot of teams don't score a lot of points against the Bucks D. So although the Bucks D is far from elite, they're always in the game. It's always a close game. It's often low-scoring, except when they're playing against like Mahomes or something. So Bucks D is always formidable. They don't get a ton of fantasy points, but it could be a lot worse. And they're available in most leagues. They're coming off a bye week. A lot of people drop them. You also have the Vikes D, Commanders D, Panthers D in that low-scoring game, and Bears D. The Jets offense is coming off an epically bad game. For kickers, I want you guys to get one of these top 5 names, and I think you can. Realistically, I see Evan McPherson available in a lot of leagues, and Cameron Dicker is probably available. So I'm really hoping you can get one of these top 5 guys. If not, I got some more guys. But Jason Myers going against the Raiders, great thing happens when you go against the Raiders. Jason Myers, extremely accurate in a home game where they're favorited to win. Both defenses are not good, so I love Jason Myers. Shouldn't be too windy. There could be a little bit of rain, but that should not faze Jason Myers at all at home. Brett Maher is an elite option Thursday Night Football against the Giants. Evan McPherson's a good option as well. I love Robbie Gould, and I really like Cameron Dicker. You know what? I may even rank Cameron Dicker as high as number 2 or 3. It's pretty hard to really distinguish and separate the top 5 options. But in kicker news, Dustin Hopkins gone to IR. I assume he's done for the year. And Cameron Dicker the kicker has been 100% accurate this season with extra points and field goals. He is to be trusted. He is playing in a dome, and he does have a good matchup going against the Cardinals. I like starting players going against the Cardinals, and I like starting kickers going against the Cardinals. So Cameron Dicker is my ultimate sleeper start at kicker, ultimate streaming option, ultimate ad. I love him, and hopefully you get him or better. I'm really a big fan of him this week. If you can't get those top 5, we got Younghoe Koo, Brandon McManus, Jason Sanders, who should have a lot of opportunities, but he is a wild card. Sometimes he's super accurate and is crushing it, and sometimes he misses 29-yard field goals and looks terrible and wants to make you tear your hair out your head. Ryan Suckup is an elite option this week. If this game wasn't too windy, but winds of 20 miles an hour or more scare me a little bit, so keep that in mind. Nick Folk, he's another kind of wild card, as in he's reliable. He's very accurate. The Patriots are basically a field goal kicking team. I like it, but it's just one that I can't predict. So Nick Folk, I don't know how many extra points and field goals this team's going to attempt, and that's really the problem here. I don't know. When they do attempt them, he will make them. So the accuracy, I have a lot of faith in. Not so sure about the attempts and the game script here. And at number 11, we have Joey Sly. The Washington Commanders are a real team, and they have a real good matchup at kicker. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you do subscribe to this YouTube channel. We also have membership. If you do want to support, just click that join. And what is it, like $2.99 a month? You get some perks, some emojis, a special Discord role. It's really cool. Also, subscribe to our second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. Good luck this week, and I'll catch you guys on the